So I'm with Jeffrey Calhoun, who's a scriptwriter for Pink Bunny. Congratulations on your script. Thank you. Welcome to London.
Thank you, sir. It's a beautiful place.
No, so really well done. Could you, as I explained, just give us a brief synopsis about this script?
Sure. Yeah, Pink Bunny is a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
It's about a guy that kills his coworker, and then she comes back to work the next day. Mm-hmm. It also has two women that kind of get involved in this dark mystery and hidden past that he has about him.
And where did this dark idea come from?
I actually wrote it for my wife.
Yeah. Is there a story here? A story for the story.
She got laid off at her job and she never got any closure.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of provide that closure for her through story, and then it just kind of unfolded into this great mystery chaos type of thriller. So it was a lot of fun.
And this was one of the top. Can you just tell us what this has been nominated for?
Oh man! All right. So Pink Bunny is nominated for Best Unproduced Screenplay. It's done pretty well in the circuit, competition in general.
Yeah. So. And is this? I mean, this isn't your first stab. You've been writing for ages, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been writing for probably almost 10 years.
And do you have? I don't want to say a daytime job because that sounds a bit patronising. But is this your full-time thing?
No, I'm not a full-time writer yet. I'm working towards it. I do have a day job.
Right.
But,
and how do you balance the two? I mean, it's always difficult. I was talking to a scriptwriter yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think he works for ABC as like a producer or something. But of course, it's having the time to do. I mean, how do you find the time? Because I know these things are very time orientated.
It is. It takes a lot of time. One, you got to learn to write quickly.
Okay.
That helps. But I've kind of organized my life around my writing, so I can balance between being there for my family, work, and writing. But I mean, I try and write like 3 to 4 hours a day. Sometimes it's when the family's sleeping. Sometimes it's when I have a day off.
You got children, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got that as well. But
yeah.
I'm not being funny. 3 to 4 hours is a chunk of time.
It's a lot of time, but when you're committed to something and you want to be great at it, you got to put the time and effort in.
Does that include weekends? I mean, do you just cut away from the weekend?
I write when I need to write, and I do a lot of writing on the weekend. But there's some times where I just take a few days off to kind of refresh and clear the mind a bit.
And how do you? I mean, obviously you're on the circuit. I get that. So other than that, how do you get your idea? I mean, is there a website where you can pull your work, or is it direct approach?
Yeah.
I mean, like ISA and stuff like that, isn't it? You're on ISA. I think you came through ISA on this.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm on ISA. I do some submitting through Film Freeway. But I think I did Inktip a little bit, but I wasn't getting the results I liked. But I think the ISA gives you really good broader outreach for the community, so I use them a lot.
And have you had any nibbles, any success?
Yeah, actually, I have. I've had a few. I have one of my scripts, a zombie comedy I wrote, ended up
a zombie comedy.
Yeah, it's really funny.
What is it? We were talking about a filmmaker yesterday who's done a zombie film, right? I Dare You.
Yeah.
And I was trying to say the answer. The question I posed or posited to him was, why is it that zombie films are just not dying, if you excuse the pun? They're extremely popular, aren't they?
Oh man, they're so popular. I mean, everybody loves. I think there's just nowadays versions of like the 80s slashers. Like 80s slashers, there's a million of them, there's lots of copycats, and I think the zombie film is just our version of that now. And in another 10 or 15 years, it'll be something else. But I think that's where we're at. Just like in the 90s, vampire films were huge, I think that's just what's going on now. But like my zombie comedy, I wrote it because I wanted to challenge myself,
right.
And because I'm known as a thriller guy. And mine, it's actually called Hipster Z. And
Hipster Z?
It's so funny. It's about a zombie virus that spreads itself through a small southern town in the U.S. and turns them into flesh-craving hipster zombies. Because people
I'm laughing, I'm even ready.
Yeah, because people are gluten-free, they're free-range, there's no GMOs, so the hipster zombies want to eat people. And it's actually more about kind of socially how people latched onto the hipster movement to be different, but then they all ended up being the same, like a herd of hipsters.
Right.
So
okay.
That was the motivation for that one.
And you say you've had a little bit of success with that one?
Oh yeah, I won Best Comedy in the International Horror Film Festival, and it was a finalist in some other ones. So it's done pretty well.
So it's now turning one of those into the, I guess the real deal is the, into a film, basically.
Yeah, well, that script somehow got into the head of a network in the U.S., and they loved it. And they started spreading it around, and so it's getting a lot of attention, which is really totally out of the blue because I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
So now it's just the waiting game, following up, meeting people and whatnot.
And it's interesting because when we spoke before, you got on camera, you did actually say, in your opinion, it's 10 years to sort of make it through. So it's kind of where you are now.
Yeah.
And how did you actually? I know you were writing for the last 10 years, but were you actually writing before? Or did you just wake up one day and think, I really want to have a go at this?
As a kid, I was kind of dyslexic. I had a hard time spelling and being able to write and things like that. As I got older, I was able to kind of grow out of that.
Yeah.
But I actually started writing on a bet. I had a coworker that was an editor and it's a part-time job for PBS, Public Access.
Yeah. It's kind of your BBC, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So he challenged me to come up with a treatment for a script because that's how he understood how to write. So I went and learned how to write a treatment. I wrote that, we compared, and I won the bet.
Right.
My wife read it. She said, it's really good. You should make it a script. So then I researched how to write a script. I wrote the script, and I just loved the process. And I just kept writing. Like the second script I ever wrote made it to the quarterfinals in Scriptapalooza.
Wow. So you've been bitten.
It's just cool, man. I just love it. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do.
And I know writing, sort of say a novella or a novel or whatever against a script is completely different. But a lot of people don't realise that. I think because I would imagine writing a script is a whole lot more difficult than writing not that even them are particularly simple, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is, I guess the process is radically different.
Yeah, I think with a novel, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak because I don't do novels, but I have friends that write novels and they can take their time and really, piece it out over like years.
Yeah.
Where when you're writing a script, I mean, when you're writing a script on a hot topic, you kind of have to get it out, while it's hot. You don't want to write something that's popular and then try and get it out to people when, like with zombies or vampire movies or slashers, when the fad is over. So. And
so this one, there's no element of comedy to this one, is there? This is quite serious.
Pink Bunny is, let's put it this way, I kind of take a Tarantino approach when I do a little bit of writing where I build in like funny moments, but they're not slapstick, and I like to use it as a way for to kind of do like an emotional reset for the audience, because if you just keep hammering people with scary, thrilling moments, they kind of become desensitized. So you want to build in some lighter moments and kind of give them a breather. So there's definitely lighter moments in it, but it's not a comedy. It is a psychological thriller. It's really fun though. It's written in like a Rashomon style, so it's 3 different perspectives on an event, and they all come together in the end. It's pretty cool.
And is it a short?
No, it's a full feature.
It is a full,
yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
And what's on the back burner at the moment? You've probably got loads of plates spinning, I guess, at the moment.
Like, what am I writing right now?
Yeah. Because you're obviously pushing this. That's how.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a pitch for Cartoon Network for a kid show. Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
I know you probably can't say too much, but what's the stage that you're at now?
We're just finishing up the outline and treatment and getting ready to get right into the script, and I'll probably be able to bang that out rather quickly. They actually got a copy of Hipster Z,
the zombie one,
and they loved it, but they can't make it because they're a kids show. So they said, if you have anything else, send it to me. So then I just started doing some demographic networking or demographic research on what they have and trying to figure out, okay, what would be good for them.
So at what point do you, because we're not at the point, I assume, that's been given the green light, so at what point do you find out this is definitely going to happen? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, definitely not at the green light stage yet with them, but they're open to a pitch, which is fantastic. I mean, getting to the door is a big part, you know, and so I'm there. But I do have another script which I can't talk about that another network is looking at, and they're very interested, and that's in like they're looking at international distribution and things like that. So we're getting very close on that end.
And how do in your opinion, what, again, we talked about this earlier, I mean,
Sure.
I've seen some films, I haven't got a clue when it comes to script writing, but I know what I think is a terrible film and a terrible
There
script.
you go. You have taste.
And we did actually agree on some things, but how do those things slip under the net? I mean, we're talking about major blockbusters here,
Yeah.
and it happens, and it's shocking.
Well, I think a lot of it is like who you know. So
Yeah.
I think some people kind of, you know, they have friends or family that get them into the business and they kind of work in that way. But I think a lot of it is right now, and you can see this with huge blockbusters like superhero movies and things like that. A lot of people are writing from the same type of template, the same type of format. So movies are becoming predictable. Audiences are becoming smarter. So what you're gathering is people are getting bored and they're not liking it. And like, again, the quality might not just be there. So you just have, it's all about taking a fresh approach.
Yeah.
And when I do my writing, I'm not just putting in creativity, I'm trying to put in things that, you know, that might help someone that's stuck in a rut at that point in their life, that will speak to them, not just a scary movie, you know.
And when you find yourself watching a film, how often are you going, that's not how I would have done this?
All the time. It's like, my wife even told me, she's like, you know, if you pursue this, it's gonna ruin you for movies. And she's right. I mean, I just watch movies now. I break them down. Sometimes I'll break down and do my own outline of the movie as research. But yeah, it gets to the point to when I like a movie, that's a hell of a movie. And
is it true that there's only actually, I don't know, 8 or 10 stories that you can tell, but told in different ways? I can't remember what the number is. You'll probably tell me what it is.
I can't give you a number, but
you know what I mean, though,
only, yeah, there's only so many directions and relationships that you can present, so many archetypes of characters that you can have. But it's all about the approach and all about, you know, finding a unique way of presenting those. You know, and you can do that. But if everybody keeps just doing it the same way with the same formula, it's just going to be boring.
And I asked a script writer this yesterday, you've seen a film, which film do you really wish you'd written, or you think that is a perfect script?
Oh,
You've probably got dozens of them.
The one that just came out recently was The Arrival with Amy Adams.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I'd love to see
Oh
it.
my God.
Brilliantly written.
It's amazing.
Really?
It's absolutely amazing movie.
But that's from a novel, isn't it?
I don't know if
I
that's
don't
from
know.
a novel. I know the writer of that script, he wrote 100 drafts.
No.
100 drafts.
And they kept him on to really, they knew they had the right man, but he just kept going.
Yeah, 100 drafts. I don't know if he wrote that on spec or not, but anyway, it's an amazing movie.
Because of the script.
Yeah, because of the script. The structure is there.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot. Pleasure.
Thank you very much, and wonderful. It always is.